9 crazy and nerve-wracking games that even $1 billion might not be enough for you to try. Hey, welcome back to KINHLUPTV, guys. Anyone here into crazy, risky games? Leave a comment and let's see who's brave enough. So, have you heard about that insane, risky bridge crossing that makes everyone's knees knock? How do you think it feels walking on an airplane wing? Or, what's the secret to walking on a tightrope without falling? Just hearing about these games gives me a mini heart attack. So tell me, would you be brave enough to take these on? Stick around till the end of the video, and let's find out. 1. The swing of death. Oh, the word swing. Who doesn't know what that is, right? Pretty sure we've all been on a swing before. But when we're talking swing of death, it's not just any swing, my friend. So, the Casa del Arbol, aka the swing of death, or swing at the end of the world, is a favorite spot for adrenaline junkies. It started as a super simple swing, no safety gear, just a rope and a wooden plank hanging from a tree on a mountain near Baños, Ecuador. The swing was so wild, it could send you flying out over the cliff and leave you dangling in midair, surrounded by clouds. Sounds fun, right? Well, trust me, it's more like a OMG, I'm about to die kind of thrill. It feels like you're flirting with death for a second. That's why they've added steel cables, made things way sturdier, and now they check it every week to make sure it's safe for tourists. But hey, think twice before jumping on. This ride is not for the faint-hearted or anyone afraid of heights. And yeah, sometimes at popular tourist spots, things go wrong, especially when they get overloaded and maintenance can't keep up. Take this incident in Sulak Canyon, Dagestan, Russia. In the video, you see 2 girls on the swing, getting pushed off a cliff over 6,000 feet high, just to enjoy that crazy rush. But then, one of the ropes snaps, and they're falling toward the rocks below. Luckily, they got caught on a ledge and survived. That's a hard pass for me, even if they offered me money to try it. Too close for comfort. But stay tuned, because next we're talking about another insane ride. But this one's only for the super rich and brave. 2. Walking on an airplane wing. Okay, I know what you're thinking. I mean, airplanes aren't exactly something you just casually walk on. But nope, this is a real thing, 100% legit. Apparently, to test how lucky they are, some thrill seekers, let's call them the daredevils out there, decided to challenge themselves by walking on airplane wings. Of course, the first thing you need to even consider doing this is a lot of money to own a plane. Or, at the very least, a helicopter or small private jet. Oh, and there's one more thing. You've got to have a huge pair of guts. Because when you're flying in that plane, you can't get scared, dizzy, or faints right then and there. Bottom line, even if you're rolling in cash, think twice before trying this. One little mistake and, well, you could lose your life. For real. And by the way, this is a definite no-go for people who have a fear of heights or struggle with balance. 3. Parkour jumping game. Front flips, somersaults, wall climbs like a monkey, or jumping off rooftops. That's parkour. This sport has been super popular with young people for years. It's all about jumping over obstacles and scaling tall buildings that make your head spin just by looking at them. Parkour was actually created by a French guy named Raymond Bell, who was born and raised in Dalat, Vietnam. With his insane and impressive airbending moves, he went back to France, and with his son, developed parkour into the risky sport we know today. By the late 20th century, climbing fences, walls, and tall buildings to show off your parkour skills became a trend. It was a way to flex and show you were on a different level. But let's be real, this is a wild game where you're betting your life. No safety gear, no protection. One tiny mistake, and you could be done for. So, if you're thinking about trying it, think carefully. And now let's talk about a game that's even scarier. One that'll make you shake in your boots just thinking about it. 4. Mountain biking. This is seriously one of the most dangerous sports out there because riders are literally gambling with their lives to conquer these treacherous, winding, dangerous paths on sheer mountain cliffs. To take on this sport, players ride a bike and balance on nearly vertical cliffs with nothing but a helmet for safety. Honestly, wearing the helmet is more for confidence. If you fall down the mountain, no helmet is gonna save you. With constant changes in height and slopes, this sport demands not just expert skills and steady hands, but a steel mindset and relentless willpower to face such terrifying challenges. This sport, it's pure bliss, breathing in the fresh air and soaking in the endless green beauty of the mountains and sky. But one small mistake, and the rider could pay with blood, sweat, or even their life. I mean, come on. Even riding a regular bike can make you fall all over the place, let alone these crazy cliff edges or winding slopes. But hey, when you're passionate, you just go for it. It's true what they say, you don't know what hit you until it's too late. Next up, another crazy mountain challenge, and this one is definitely max level in terms of danger. Stay tuned. 5. The dangerous suspension bridge. When it comes to the most terrifying bridges, you can't skip the dangerous suspension bridge challenge that once went viral on Chinese social media. At about 150 meters high, this bridge is literally hanging between two cliffs, like it's floating in midair. The only thing keeping people safe? A harness. You're basically holding your breath as you jump across the bridge planks, trying not to fall through the gaps. Here's a tip from some bridge athletes, or maybe I should say survivors: always look straight ahead. Never look down, or you'll start shaking, feeling dizzy, and panic. The key is to just keep moving forward. That said, there are still moments when people slip and almost fall through the cracks, leaving everyone watching in shock. Then there's the slow but sure crowd, who creep across, one tiny step at a time. But even they can't escape that heart-stopping feeling that comes with it. If you're too scared for that, you can try the glass bridge. It's made entirely of glass, so you can see straight down. At first, it feels totally safe, but the illusion of the transparent floor messes with your head. Add some sound effects like glass cracking or shattering, and you'll be shaking in your boots, unable to move. And now, here's something that I wouldn't even dare think about, let alone try. 6. Tightrope walking history. Around 4,000 people have conquered Mount Everest. 12 have walked on the moon. But there's only one person who's ever walked in mid-air, 400 meters high, between the two towers of the World Trade Center. That's the legendary tightrope artist, Philippe Petit. His incredible story will be brought to life in 3D in the movie, The Walk. Now, you'd think this scary stunt is something only a few daredevils would try, right? Like, who in their right mind would walk on a tiny thin rope up in the sky? Probably only circus performers who've trained for years, and even they keep their feet just a few meters off the ground. But nope, tons of people have dared to laugh in the face of death by walking on ropes 200 to 300 meters, even thousands of meters, above the ground. All they need is a rope tied between two mountains, and boom, they're ready to go. Most of them use a long wooden pole to help keep their balance, making it easier to control their body. But then, there are the real daredevils who don't even need the pole. They just walk across those deadly cliffs like it's nothing, hanging hundreds of meters up in the air, with no safety gear or anything to protect them. The crowd below is losing their minds. One wrong step, and it's game over. Take athlete Dean Potter, for example. He walked across a rope over Enshi Canyon in China at 1,800 meters high, without any safety gear, and he did it in just 2 minutes. Then there's French athlete Tancred Millet. He walked a 305-meter high rope while taking a phone call in the middle of it. Seriously, who does that? But the craziest of all has to be Faith Dickey. This woman walked a rope 840 meters high while wearing high heels. Seriously, what does she have for breakfast? I'm not even brave enough to think about doing that. And hey, if you get bored during your own tightrope challenge, you could always just set up a hammock and nap on the rope. I mean, why not? Next up, we've got another game that's gonna steal your heart. Trust me, it's just as thrilling for the performer as it is for the audience. 7. Jumping off cliffs into the ocean. So, when you hear jumping off a cliff into the ocean, I bet a lot of you are thinking, wait, are we talking about someone who's hit rock bottom and is about to do something crazy? I mean, honestly, who in their right mind would jump off a super high cliff like that, right? But here's the crazy part. This cliff diving thing has actually become one of the most extreme sports in the world. and people are totally lining up to give it a shot. To try it, all you gotta do is find a really high spot on a cliff or a rocky ledge, then just take a leap of faith into the ocean below. It's an insane thrill, I'm telling you. But fair warning, this sport is only for the brave and those who can swim like a fish. You gotta be ready for whatever happens once you hit that water. Now, if you love the idea of jumping from high places but you don't want to end up soaking wet in the ocean, there's a sport for you too, base jumping. The thing with base jumping is that you wear one of those crazy wingsuits, climb to a sharp cliff or mountain peak, and just jump. You glide through the air and then land with a parachute. Sounds wild, right? Even though base jumping is super risky, there's a huge crowd of people who chase that thrill. They even have a World Cup for it in the Lauterbrunnen Valley in the Swiss Alps. It's that serious. If you're a true adrenaline junkie, this is definitely one for your bucket list. But if you're like me and afraid of heights, it might be better to just stay home and watch TV instead. Because if you mess up your jump or misjudge the wind, you might end up way too close to the rocks. Not the best outcome. So, what about you? Are you up for the challenge? Drop a comment with, "I'm in, let's do this," or "Nope, I'm good," to let me know what you think. Next up, we've got another sport that not everyone would be brave enough to try. Stay tuned. 8. Bungee jumping. Hey guys, there's a reason why bungee jumping is one of the top extreme sports in the world. As you can see, to do bungee jumping, you have to climb up insane heights, like the top of a mountain, a bridge, the highest floor of a building, or even a cable car or helicopter. Then, they strap you in, and boom, you're free-falling straight down toward the ground, or water. Right before you hit, you get yanked back up. That rush? You can't get it from anything else. And seriously, people say it's the best way to shake off stress and just forget all your worries. Now, a jump like that will cost you about $140, but because safety's such a big deal, there aren't many places in the world where you can do it. And next up? Well, there's something even crazier. If you're afraid of heights or can't stand the cold, maybe just skip it. 9. Climbing frozen waterfalls. If climbing a mountain without protection is already a scary challenge, then climbing a frozen waterfall is way more dangerous. In places where temperatures drop below freezing, like Canada or China, there are these massive frozen waterfalls, and the air is so cold, it could freeze your breath. It's no wonder people travel from all over to take on the wild challenge of scaling these icy giants, no matter how freezing and brutal the weather is. When you join in, you're geared up for safety. But the hardest part? The heavy clothes. They make you feel like you're dragging around an extra 100 pounds. Plus, ice doesn't hold as firmly as rock, so it could crack any time. You could fall at any second, and climbing that steep ice wall, it's exhausting. If you're not in top shape, you'll be dizzy and wiped out real quick. But if you'd rather enjoy the view without breaking a sweat or risking your life, maybe cliff camping is more your speed. It's fun, chill, and still lets you enjoy those amazing mountain views. If you're into a bit of fear mixed with excitement, then hey, it could be totally worth it for those who've got the cash. So friends, we've just explored some of the most dangerous and terrifying activities that are definitely not for the faint of heart. Which one blew your mind the most? Drop a comment and share your thoughts. If you liked this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to KINHLUP TV so you're always the first to watch our latest content every day. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. See ya!